First off, I want to say I do want to apologize for the issue that we just had. For some weird freaking reason, OBS wanted to, fuck around and find out. So I'm really pissed off about that. So now I have to start all over again. And I'm more mad that I have to start all over again, even though for the simple fact, like, I got it all together. So, needless to say, OBS is working now. It's got its shit in order, and we can move forward from this horrible mistake that we just had. And let's start off. Let me also say I have new covers for the videos that are being dropped from the Late Night Sneaker Show, and so I'm appreciative of that because at the end of the day, I'm trying to do a lot while I'm off on break for this week from my other job, and so work with me, and I will work with y'all. I'm trying to make sure y'all get good content and anything like that. So, matter of fact, while I'm looking to get one of the sneakers up, I'm about to show y'all one of the new covers from the from the remakes, I should say, or should I say more or less one of the chops, because I'm chopping the videos from the podcast, from the Late Night Sneaker Show, so that way we can have more content and have it looking a little bit more nicer. So let's look at one of the covers. If you watched the first Late Night Sneaker Talk Show revival episode of this month, you would see I have done the cover for the Eric Emanuel Chuck Taylors. Like I said, this is just the cover, and it's a nice cover, but I'm making sure that all chops from the Late Night Sneaker Show have at least a new cover, or at least something new that, makes it individual. It has its originality. Excuse me. Needless to say, with that being said, a lot of the clips will be, released daily on here and on the weekend on TikToks, because I'm releasing the shorts daily on TikTok. Like, I'm trying to make sure most of my content's in sync. And I'm appreciative of everybody who's following the channel and everything like that. And sooner or later, I will have the time to repost every goddamn thing on Instagram. I really don't use it like that oftenly because I be so busy with other forms of media, because we are literally one sub away from 2.7K, and I'm working my butt off. I've been in another YouTube boot camp, and today was pretty busy, so I didn't get to fully get the immerse in it, especially since it wasn't on Google Live, it was on Zoom, which kind of, threw me off. But hey, needless to say, can't complain. So this is the gift and the curse of, bringing things back. Hold on. All right. So the first shoe I'm going to start with, somebody had the amazing and wonderful time of mixing a pair of Nike ACGs and the Devin Book ones. And all I can say is, even though this is a custom, I feel like Nike's about to take this idea and run with it. Like, say what you want. Like, the design is nice. The design is, fire. The bottom alone is like, okay, this is what I love about real sneakers and doing real designs and doing something that, brings back the classic momentum of the sneaker itself. Like, it's something it piques my curiosity alone when it comes to making sure that, okay, this is a fire ass cake. But not only that, it's a fire ass cake that is a custom. It's 101. It's snakeskin. Like, come on now. You think Nike's not gonna try to run an idea off of this? They've made Air Jordan Fusions, for Christ's sakes. And if you watch one of the vertical lives, I might have to do another one in the coming days, but if you looked at the live, we all saw the Air Jordan 6 Fusions. Yeah. It was a wild time to be a real sneakerhead, but I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I'm here for customs. I'm here for the, individuality of the shoe. I'm here for making sure that snakeskin is nice, the piece is on point. if I have to give it on a scale, I'll probably give it a good 3.3 on out of 5, which isn't bad. It's a custom, it's 101, it's original, and you can't, you're not gonna judge somebody on an original piece of artwork. But I mean, if I'm just being honest, and y'all know I try my best to be as honest as possible. I'm glad somebody made a custom, but the book ones have other versions of the shoe that I'm more favorite to the custom for. So, but they got the job done, and that's all that matters. All right. So one of the shoes that we got on here right now, literally I just made the short for it. So by the time this video drops, that means the short will already be out. Will already be prepped to come out on Wednesday. And it is the Quai 54 Air Jordan 1 Lows, black and tour yellow. Now, I said this earlier, and I said in the short, it's like, y'all are already released enough black and yellow and black and gold Jordans, and Nike's already coming out. This one, it's like, I'm confused, more or less. I'm more or less confused because, like, the black looks more of a suede, and the yellow, certain parts of the yellow looks either leather or a suede mix. That bottom is nice. I mean, the black and yellow bottom is nice. And it's basically like a better version of a Bumblebee on Air Jordan format. But I'm going to be honest with you. I wish they'd have had a high and a low. That way they get people more variety to pick from it. Don't get me wrong. I'm doing everything I can to be a Nike or, other company affiliate. But if I'm going to be honest about it, I'm going to tell y'all the truth. This one is hot, but it's depending on where you're at. This is not going to sit. This is going to sell out on the Nike app easily. I just feel that you should have gave me the option. I know it's a Quai 54 and you only get one choice out of it, and that's cool, but I would have been appreciative more of the option of having the choice to pick one or the other. So that's just my hot take of it. I mean, am I not going to try for it? I would actually try for these. I'm actually going to try for these. Now, will I be successful? Hell fucking no. But at least I tried, because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But let me know in the comments, what do y'all think about this shoe? Because let's be real. Let's be real for a second. The shoe is nice. Yes, the shoe is solid. But you got other shoes that are coming out that have a similar, color palette that's already came out that might actually be cheaper. That's just my take. I mean, I know plenty of people that will still go for it and even win, but needless to say, that's just my take. On the scale, I would literally put it 3.5, 3.6 at best, but even then, it's still a solid shoe. I'm not taking away from. I'm just taking away from the time it came out. All right, now this is another shoe that I've also done a short on, and correct me if I'm wrong. And I've put the correction on the short. So when you see the short and you see me say 2,500, I meant to say 1,500 pairs. And this is the unheard of, all one word, Adidas Adistar Cushion 3 Pork Chop Piggy Runners that's dropping March 29th. 1,500 pairs. And the only reason I knew about this shoe originally is because it was on a bus. Like a bus was traveling around the city showing the shoe or the color palette of the shoe. And it was like, okay, this is nice. But let's be real. This is not for like the common sneakerhead. Say what you want. I feel, and like I said, this is my own opinion. So take it with a grain of salt. But I feel that this sneaker is not for the common man. And the reason I say that is because you don't just drop a picture of a sneaker. I mean, a picture of a sneaker and do all this marketing for it for only 1,500 pairs. Ooh, excuse me. Long day at work, but after work too. You don't just drop a like a pair like this and be like, oh yeah, we're not dropping that many pairs. Huh? Huh? Why the fudge not? Why the fudge not, boss? Why are you not dropping that many pairs? 1,500 pairs? If it's a stateside release only, it makes no freaking sense to drop only 1,500 pairs. Like, that's just stupid as hell. Maybe that's just me, and maybe that's my opinion, and maybe, I can get chewed out for it. But at the end of the day, 1,500 pairs is not that many pairs. That's barely any pairs. And you see, I went on a damn tangent. I went on a damn tangent for a shoe that I possibly am not even going for. But if I had to give it on the scale, I'm honestly going to put this at a 2.9, 2.95. And the reason why is 1,500 pairs for this pink shoe, when you can go for the Atmos New Balances that I posted yesterday on here for a better value. I'm sorry. If you had to choose one, I would take the Atmos because at least the Atmos look nicer. But y'all probably going to say in the comments, oh, he hating. That's some dry hate right there. That's not dry hate. I want everybody to at least get the sneakers that they want. But at what cost? If it's 1,500 pairs, what the hell am I going to do with 1,500 pairs? What the hell is going to be done with 1,500 pairs? Ain't shit getting done with 1,500 pairs. Like, the resale value is already going to blow the shoe up to hell to Kingdom coming back. That's the part that is just irking me. But when it comes to, like, an actual release, yeah, I would take the Atmos any day of the week. All right. So, if you watch the channel and if you watch the first episode of like I said, the Late Night Sneaker Show, because, I at least try to be a better person when it comes to that. I talked about the Curry Fox ones. Well, this second colorway shut me the hell up. It genuinely shut me the hell up. This is the Curry Fox 1 Gamer, and honestly and truthfully, I like it. I like the black suede toe box, the black and silver bottom, the silver wings. It looks like a 3M material on the wings. You got the fox in pink with black and pink laces. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you shut somebody the fuck up when you're talking about their sneaker. Honestly and truthfully, was I expecting it to be like this? No. I was not expecting it to be this nice. And I'm more appreciative of this one than I am of Kentucky. Don't get me wrong, Kentucky is a nice shoe. I will not take anything from Kentucky. But if I had to take the comparison of the two, you already know what my answer is. I'm taking Gamer, hands down. Hands down, no questions asked. Gamer would be the shoe I would pick up in my closet. But needless to say, I want to make sure y'all are talking in the chat because that is important, especially when we're talking about sneakers. I want to make sure that we have the conversation going on about the sneakers. Like, we're making sure that we're not just, giving positive and negative reviews of sneakers without, having anything nice to say. But if I had to give it on a scale, if I had to put it on a scale, honestly and truthfully, I would say that one is probably a good 3.7, 3.75. Solid, no debate. It's actually a good shoe. Now, I have something I have to get off my chest, and don't get me wrong, that shoe is nice. I'm not taking anything away from that shoe, but there's something I have to post for the 20-minute mark. But even then, we're almost through the first quarter of the show, and I always tell y'all, I'm appreciative of y'all for just tuning in, giving this show a chance, even if you're checking out the clips or whatnot, or even you get to see it last second or last minute, I'm appreciative. It's a late night sneaker talk show. And the more people that get in on the show, the more we have fun with the show, the more we can improve the show and make things better, especially since I've been streaming every day this month something. And that's all that matters in the long run. But with that being said, I need to have a general discussion with whoever the hell thought this was a smart idea. Glasses off for this one. I'm going in completely blind. You mean to tell me that the Citrus Air Jordan 7s from 2022 restocked on Champ Sports today? So today, literally March 18th. So when this video gets chopped out, I want it to be clear that on March 18th, y'all chose to restock a shoe from 2022. How did this get passed? First off, because now it makes me wonder, like, what else are you holding back there if you're restocking a shoe from almost 3 years ago? Like, say what you want, but a sneaker that has been held, don't get me wrong, a classic, Air Jordan sneaker, a classic 7 colorway. I don't fool with 7s, but this was one of my favorite colorways. And you mean to tell me in the year of 2025, and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, that y'all chose to re-release this shoe? I'm sorry. Something is going on with capitalism, and I don't like it, and I feel like it's a bigger distraction than I thought it would be. That is my personal discussion. That's my personal debate. Take it as is. But I just want to say, like, this is... how can I put it in the nicest way possible? This is either something that Champs is trying to get some last minute money to recoup on, or something else, because something doesn't sit right with this restock or random restock all of a sudden. Would I go for it? I possibly would if I had the time or the financials to deal with it. I got enough bills to deal with. And I told y'all, if I'm going to risk it all on the shoe, it's only one shoe I'm going to risk my entire account on, and it's freaking Pearl. Them Pearl foam posits. I'm calling in every plug I know for them. Everyone. Every single one. Am I out of pocket? Maybe. Will I have the capital for it? For sure. But at the end of the day, I'm dropping retail price. I'm not going over retail. I've had 3 pairs, and this will probably be the first time I actually have a genuine pair of my own. But I'm sorry, that my tangent really set me off. And make sure y'all comment in the chat if I'm wrong about this, or leave a comment below if I'm wrong for going off. But you restocked the shoe from 2022 out of nowhere. There has to be a question about that. Like, somebody should be asking why. Why in the hell is this getting restocked? If y'all not, then that's fine. But I personally will be the genius or the a-hole, however you want to call it, to ask that question, because it makes no flipping sense. But I digress. All right, so I guess that we haven't had a chance to really talk about other Under Armour shoes, but I guess the Utah Utes has their own Under Armour shoe, the Slip Speed Reds. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been to Utah. I've been to Salt Lake City. I drove through it. I stayed a little bit, but I drove through it, and this shoe surprises me. I mean, it just genuinely surprises me, because I'm like, oh, Utah got a shoe out? Okay. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I mean, if anything, I would have thought it would have came out close to football season, but I digress. Nonetheless, I digress. I mean, it's an all-red shoe. I mean, there's nothing too much you could say negatively about it. I mean, unless you don't like the Utah football team or the basketball team, but at the end of the day, it's still a decent shoe. if it's a rating, it's gonna be a solid 2 for me. But it's the only reason, and I say this in all fairness, the only reason it's a 2 is because I feel like they're about to drop other colleges as well, and Utah, of course, has that red color, and I'm fine with it. But that's neither here nor there. Speaking, and I mean speaking of something, I'm gonna get into college later because it is March Madness season. My TSU Tigers did not make it past the SWAC tournament, and I'm really kind of hurt about that. I mean, I'm TSU alum all day, every day. Of course, you might see me with the U of H stuff, the Florida Gator stuff, the A&M stuff, but I went to Texas Southern, and I had my opportunity to go elsewhere, but TSU was where the funds was at. I'm going to just keep it real. TSU held a brother down, but I did get my master's somewhere else, and they changed their names, and that's neither here nor there. But I'm gonna go back to the colleges in a minute, but I wanted to do something real quick, just in case I get an opportunity, in case this video pops up somewhere else. All right, Anita Kai 2 solo return is celebrating Kyrie's birthday. Solo return means your solo return. The sun comes back around, all all around. Your yearly rotation. Basically, that's what I meant. And I mean, I haven't seen, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen a pair of Anita Kai 2s that, just disappointed me. Like, they all have been solid. Like, come on now. All been solid, no complaints. Like, pieces of art. Few of my friends, and I'm gonna have some more guests on the show when I actually do my vertical lives. One of them actually has a pair of Anita Kai's, and he told me that they're very comfortable, especially for hooping in. And I'm like, well, say less. That makes a lot of sense. So I'm here for it, honestly. Like, I'm here for the how do you say the design of it all. Like, I'm here for the colorway. I'm here for like how it actually is a lot of vibrant colors, and the shoe looks really freaking nice. Like, I'm not taking anything away from the shoe. I'm not taking anything away from the artistic style of it or anything like that. I'm more appreciative of just how it looks and how it's being worn and how it's being portrayed. I mean, it looks like a solid shoe. You can't, like, at the end of the day, can you really be mad about a solid shoe? No, you cannot. I just feel that with Kyrie being injured, he's not getting enough credit for anything that he does anyway. And like I said, that's just me. That's just me talking. I might be wrong. I might be out of pocket, but it is what it is. But if I had to give a shoe a solid rating, I would probably give it a 3.7. I'll push. I'll even be the one to push for like a 3.8 or a 3.9. It's not a bad shoe by any means. That's not what I'm saying. I just want more. If that makes sense. I mean, let me rephrase that. I don't want more from Kyrie's shoe. I'm saying it as I want more releases out to the public. That's what I meant. And I apologize if I said that in the wrong way, in the wrong context. I did not mean it that way. But let's move forward. Let's go back to the college conversation. Let's go back. Ooh-wee. I hope I ain't offend nobody with that last statement, but let's go back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I wanted to talk about. So, shout out to a family friend, Kinfo, Quentin Grimes, that went to U of H, played against the Houston Rockets yesterday. By the time this is already out, had one of his highest scoring games in his career. So, shout out to Quentin Grimes. But as a shout out to Kinfo, and shout out to, what he's done since leaving U of H, I decided to bring out the U of H Air Jordan 4 PEs. And they actually say it's whose house on the inside of the tongue. I'm not gonna lie. These PEs are getting out of hand. but I love it all the same. And you're probably saying like, what you mean what you mean the PEs are getting out of hand? I didn't see the only college PE that I've seen that, and I hate to do this. I hate to do it while it's still live, but the only college PE that I've seen that has not been a Jordan 4 was the University of Oregon, and they had the Jordan 9s. But the U of H, I'm not gonna lie. As somebody who went to Texas Southern, who was across the street from U of H, and if you walk around U of H, and if you walked even in the earlier era of U of H, before they got the bigger stadium, or even before there was the Big 12 in U of H, them shoes pretty much look like the roads of U of H. And I'm not insulting it. Or even if you walk on campus, them shoes could blend in with the concrete, well, not the concrete, with how the walk path is on campus. So I say that to say this. I'm glad they got a Jordan PE. I'm glad they're even in the Final Four. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, they're one of the 1 seeds in the tournament as well. The March Madness tournament, excuse me. But this shoe is solid. And if we're going to go to a college PE, then another Jordan brand college PE, then by all means, I will go there. Because I think, and this is my honest opinion, I'm just going with the more noticeable PEs. I mean, it's March Madness. It's freaking March Madness. Come on now. You know when it's March Madness and the sneaker brands are out to play, they are really out to freaking play. But let me get another PE out. Hold on. Cause y'all be thinking I'm playing like, oh yeah, nah, he wildin'. I don't wild out about too many things, honestly. And especially when it comes to sneakers, I'm very, understanding of straight fire or repetitive fire. But when it comes to like a college PE, Marquette, women's, gets a first class Jordan 4 PE, and they are basically butters on 4s. And don't get me wrong, I like the U of H. I'm glad the women's even got their PEs. But this is like, come on now. It's March Madness, which means we are about to get a lot more straight fire from a bunch of different, sneakers. And is it wrong to be happy about March Madness, especially this year? No, the U of H's, I mean, all the college shoes are going to be looped together, but I'll probably put their individual scores when I separate them. But even still, I'm going to tell you, like, the U of H's is probably a good solid 4, and I might get a lot of flack for that. The Marquette is probably a good solid 4.1. I'm not going to lie. And if I had to choose another shoe, and honestly, like I said, this March Madness, so we're going to see a couple more PEs before we go to other subjects, at least before we hit, the 35-minute mark. But I want to get some of these shoes out because I've been holding back. Now, I went to DC in 23, and I started putting in my applications for Howard University because I wanted to do my PhD in the DMV before, the Orange Tic Tac took office. I'm not going to lie. Howard also has a nice PE Jordan 4. And I tell y'all this because I don't like Jordan 4s. I am adamant. As a shoe, I mean, as somebody who likes sneakers and love sneakers, I mean, I have nothing against Jordan 4s besides the back heel piece. The shoe itself I've had my wearings. It's okay. Not my cup of tea, but to each his own. Needless to say, I love the Howard Jordan 4 PEs. And I saw the ones on a discounted sale. I'm like, I might get them ones. But, I mean, come on. Solid 4, and no pun intended. Hold on. Well, it's a good thing I saved it from, cutting off and cutting on. I'll fix it in post or, have it go on. But needless to say, another PE that I really want to get into in this discussion, and I think did I get it out? Did I get it out? Please tell me I got it out. Please tell me. Please tell me. I'm not trying to waste camera battery life. No, I got it. I got it. I got it. And I did it again. Like, oh no, I didn't. Cool. I didn't become the idiot that I normally am when I do these things, because I'm trying to make sure, I'm trying to make sure I do at least make content decent for the fan base. But if we're talking sneakers, we're talking sneakers. And the UCLA Jordan 4 PEs is another one that I'm like, okay, I know these are college PEs. I respect them, Ain't nothing against, the PEs. I don't like Jordan 4s, but there's nothing against PEs. And I will say, the UCLAs, buddy. If they was a general release, take my money. But I know there's not, so I'm not even mad. I'm not even upset. I'm just like, wow. This is how we doing things. All right, but it's March Madness. If I do see any more PEs, I will definitely put them on another episode of Late Night Sneaker Talk. I feel like for tomorrow and Thursday, or tomorrow and Friday, I might end up doing gameplay of either Rocket League and Fortnite just so I can balance it out, because Friday is Friday Night BS, but it's Thursday. Thursday is what I'm worried about. So UCLA honestly would have got a solid 4.5 from me. No questions asked. If you want to debate it, put it in the comments. I'm here for the debate at the end of the day. Like, I'm here for the full-on debate, because at the end of the day, it's rightfully deserving. I mean, it's freaking UCLA. Like, it's a nice shoe. All right, with that being said, I saw some news today, and I normally don't do things like this. I don't normally bring up things that, aren't related to sneakers, but I feel like this needed to be brought up, and it needed to be brought up for a reason. Lego and Pokemon got a fucking collab coming out soon. And I'm glad I'm not muted, because I thought it was muted, but like I said, I get paranoid sometimes when doing this. But Lego and Pokemon got a freaking collab. It's already bad enough that the Nike brand and Lego are collabing this year. Pokemon and Lego are collabing for next year. The short will already been out by the time this video out, so I'm not going to reiterate the same point that I made in the short. I'm just going to say is, I pray that the fans of those communities are the ones getting the sets and not the hype beasts that are wishing to make a profit out of it. I will say, and I honestly, truthfully am grateful for, being in the era, for being in the era or being raised in the era that there wasn't, Hype Beast 3, or you can buy your own things and actually enjoy them, or even for the simple fact that if you had a hobby like this, you didn't have to worry about too many other factors or people just backdooring and raising up the prices and messing with the market for no reason. When in the long run, you was actually able to get certain things that you actually were enjoyed. And if you didn't get them, you would be okay with taking that L. But when it comes to things like this, it's just like, okay, I get Pokemon ZA coming out. Pokemon ZA coming out next year as well. It's kind of like, or I think this year or next year, but needless to say, and I don't want to get off topic, I pray that the people that are in these communities get what they deserve and actually are appreciating these items that are releasing, because it's nothing to hype these just to get it, buy it, flip it, make a profit, and the common person who actually wants it to pay above retail market price. And it's like, for what? For what? So, needless to say, I truly, truly don't like the market for what it is. And even then, for what it is, it's not worth it. That's just my opinion. Take it with how you feel. I know I might, say some things that, are contrary to belief, but at the end of the day, just want to make sure that it's understood that there are some things that ruin good. Oh, I was about to say, don't you dare. There are some things that ruin good good times and actually getting products that people actually genuinely like. And I hate that ever so much. I pray not. I pray OBS is not down again. Oh, there it is. Okay. My nerves get bad. I'm sorry, folks. I do apologize if I start getting flared up because OBS want to be tripping right now. But I had an original stream that I had to cut short and had more viewers on. And I'm appreciative of all the viewers because we're about to reach the second quarter of the show. Honestly and truthfully, I am appreciative of everyone who's tuning in, who's watching, who is liking, commenting, subscribing, the shorts, and everything. I really am. Like, don't think I'm not. Don't think it's not being noticed because it really is. Especially, like I said, getting back on the mic again and actually wanting to bring back the talk show, especially a year later and with everything going on and how life has been just lifing. And to just know that it's not just me that's feeling this way, but most of the people in my friend group feeling that life has been lifing and has been realistically whooping our asses. It's kind of like, okay, it's been a rough year or at least a rough 11 or 12 months. And then, you got the orange tape tack on top of that, just ruining everything. And yeah, I called him a tic tac because he's artificial. But we're not talking debates here. We're talking sneakers. We're talking, things that should be, appreciated and, ooh, 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 okay. Appreciated and valued. And I had a post. I really did have a post. Hold on. I'm gonna come back to these sneakers for 1 second. I just saw something that I really liked and want to talk about it real quick because you don't see this often. So I really wanted to do this, and I want to support when I can, and to go into I'm going to the 40 minute mark with this topic because at least I'm trying to do this correctly and if I can influence anybody to visit something, then I'm at least try my best. If you get what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. All right. Now that we're almost into the 40-minute mark, I want to bring up a point that I just saw on Twitter. I wish they had a better, I'm not calling it the other app, damn it, but I wish they would have had more photos of it. But there's only one black-owned comic book business in the state of Texas, and it is called Gulf Coast Cosmic Comics on 2306 Stewart Street in Houston, Texas. Oh, that's not too far from the hood. And 77004 is the only black-owned comic book store in Houston, Texas. And I say this without a doubt. We need to support. Since it's in Houston, we need to support. Honestly and truthfully, I might go out there and actually do a vertical live before the chopped version of this video come out because I'll have this saved. Honestly and truthfully, I will have this saved so I can go check it out, do a vertical live stream, make sure that people notice that there's a black-owned comic book shop in Houston, and it's the only one in Texas. So that's already an amazing thing. Like, I just wanted to bring this up in the 40-minute mark because you don't see that often, and I normally don't stray too far from the subject, but just knowing that, okay, it's black owned. We in business. Now, and now that we see that we in business, it's a spot for us, if you know what I mean. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, get in the chat. Make sure you leave comments. Make sure you let me know what shoes y'all want me to review as well, because I will also do that as well. And then I'm also working on a few other projects as well. That's why my life is chaotic. Needless to say. Now, I've been meaning to talk about these. I don't think that I have. Undefeated and the Nike Air Zoom Spiridons pack releases March 22nd. So that's coming around the corner. These, from what I've heard, these are already very limited, and they just dropped the ad this morning about with them of a guy jumping out of a plane. I mean, you got the black gray pair, you got the white and navy blue pair. Excuse me. Don't get me wrong, both pretty nice, pretty solid, no complaints there. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want to say bad news, but just news in general. These are very limited. The bots are gonna win them, and the sneakers that might say they don't have bots, I don't believe it until otherwise show me, because there's no way I've been on a consistent streak. And even though the last two shoes I went to for were very limited, and I got one pair, but I didn't get the other pair, and I've hit on other shoes that were even way more limited than them, shows me that the bots are coming out, or at least people who are trying to, make a profit off of them. Oh, I mean, and when I say a profit, I mean taxing profit off of them, are the only ones that are winning. Because even though they dropped the Union release, they're having a more general release in May, but just the early release already did the drop. And then you have like they're coming for your wallets, and I have nothing against it. I have nothing against coming for the personal wallet when it comes to sneaker releases and stuff like that. But if I may be honest, and if I may be truthful, because I try to be as fair as possible, and y'all know this, the limitization of certain shoes make no sense. And I mean, some shoes actually make sense, but there's certain ones that's like, okay, you just don't want everybody to have it, but you want to give it to people who either bought it out the system or had found ways to jerry-rig the system. And that's the nicest way I'm going to put it. But needless to say, if I had to give the shoes a rating, it would be a solid 3. Just flat 3. Flat 3. Nothing against the shoe. It's just like, it's already limited. It's not my cup of tea, so I'm not being, petty or anything about it. It's just, And Undefeated already has some better shoes coming out later this year anyway, so But needless to say, we have a pair of New Balances. I know I have been the a-hole not putting in the New Balances on the page. That's fine. It's a new day, and even with them, these were the other pair. So if y'all watched the shorts this morning, y'all saw me do Dragonberry, because Dragonberry came out. The picture came out for Dragonberry this morning. This is the other shoe, and I'm trying to find the actual name of it, but at the moment I cannot think of the name. So we'll get to it in a minute. We'll get to it in a second, because I saw the name earlier, but it draws a blank. But if I'm just reviewing the shoe without the name information, I'm not going to lie. I like it. It's mainly full leather. I mean, it's the New Balance 1000. That purple is nice. That black mesh is cool. And the black bottoms are pretty solid as well. Oh, they're the New Balance 1000 Dark Royal. There we go. I mean, it's a nice shoe. Not taking away any credit from it. solid, solid piece. I mean, most people are gonna say like you probably saying solid too much, and I understand. I understand where people are coming from. Like, don't think I'm not. At the end of the day, if I had to choose a piece that would actually be, here for it, I feel like it would be it. But on the Richter scale, 3.1. Honestly, 3.1. Um, but even then, it's not a bad shoe. So do not think that I'm saying like, oh, you're just talking about it because it's a bad shoe. No, no, no. Quite the opposite. Solid shoe. But I mean, I feel like it's not gonna do any big numbers, and you might actually catch it on a retail price. But let's keep going. Now, I know I picked another piece that it's not a sneaker, but it's something to review. It's something else I wanted to do a short on, and I think I didn't do the short on these, and the only reason why I didn't do the short on these is because I might do it later. But Bear Brick, Bape Bape have a collaboration with Transformers. Now, not gonna lie to you. At first, I was happy. I was happy. I was like, oh, this is a nice collab. This looks pretty cool, especially how it transforms into an actual transformer from a Bear Brick, and it's a Bape collab. It was nice. But then I remember the Bape's Croc collab and how shitty that was. And I'm not even saying no, hold on. Glasses off for this one. I'm not saying that the Bape in the release was shitty. No. Don't take what I say from that point of view. The Croc release of the Bapes was shitty, and that is the part that really just ruined the release. Like, it was just a horrible release to the point that even I pulled it out. Even I went for the shoes and was pissed because they really was botted out. They went to bot heaven at this point. They're retailing for way more than they're worth, and it's not even worth it for that price value, especially to get botted out like that. That's my opinion. That's my hot take. But needless to say, because I can go on a tangent about that release all night, and I don't want to do that because that's not entertaining. That's not what brings people around. And before I'm gonna do it right this time, let me mute that and then bring it back, so that way it's not tacky. And because there's not just one. There's not just one Bape release. No. There's two. And you know what this means. That means we're about to be SOL yet again. Because when there's more than one Bear Brick release, that means we're about to have a shit show. I'm just saying. It's a shit show. And I feel like if that release becomes a shit show like the Croc releases, it makes me lose hope in Bape collabs in general. Because they already got an Adidas collab. They got Adidas Atmos collab coming out. And if y'all watched the video last night, then I've already pointed some of this stuff out. Am I excited for it? I'm here for it. I'm open about it. But I'm not about to, spend more than what it's worth to get the shoe when it was $80, and now they're probably going for triple of the value. You can kiss my ass. Sorry. Kiss my ass. Kiss my whole asshole if you need to. And I hate to be rude, but it is what it is. The Bear Brick collab, of course, is going to get a solid 3.5. No, I take that back. Solid 2.5. I gave it way too much. And the reason why is because I don't trust. I have no hopes for that release. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I have zero hope for the release. As much as I want to be, a fair person, I'm going to be honest with y'all and say I have no hope for that release. All right. The tangent ended. The Union Fragment Air Jordan 1 highs are confirmed for 2026. Just when they thought you can go for broke this year, they said, "Ha! You thought you was good. Try again, mother sucker." Because I wonder if it's one pair or two. That is the question. If it's one pair, there's no point in even going for it. You can go for it just for the fun of it, but I feel like the bots are gonna ruin it. The hype beasts are gonna, if not the bots, the hype beasts are gonna ruin it. But if it's two pair, yeah. If I had to choose between top and bottom, I'm not gonna lie. The top already look like it's been done before, but the bottom looks something experimental, and I'd rather have the bottom pair than the top pair. So hopefully, I'm not gonna lie to you. If it's two separate shoes and the bottom pair releases by itself, come here. I need that bottom pair. Like the top pair, yeah, it's cool. The bottom pair looks something experimental, and I guess it's because the top part is a wolf gray it's more of a gray, and the bottom is from one of the bluer shoes. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I mean, I expect this to be every hype beast wet dream at this point, because there's no way that these are going under the radar, and there's definitely no way in hell, no singular way in hell that these are escaping bot hell or bot heaven, excuse me. The bots are gonna go for them. It's already been ruined. It is what it is. You just accept it. There are just certain things you just accept. Excuse me. And at the end of the day, you just accept it, especially just having the unions drop today. There are certain things you just accept, and that is one of them. Like, just the disappointment in it. Excuse me, I did just smack the shit out of my mic. It deserves a smacking after looking at that. But I digress. I mean, I'm going to give them a solid 2.9 to 3.2. Like, in that area of a rating. Nothing against the shoes. I just feel like the market already just made me sad just thinking about it. It's like, you want to get them, but you're not going to get them because the bots and the hype beasts are already going to hit them from you. And it's a wrap. It's a motherfucking wrap. But that's just me. But I'm going to be in a much more positive mood going into the end of the show. Why? Because it's rightfully so. I need to at least pick up the positivity. I need to be back to the positive me. And there's certain things in this sneaker market that just want to bring it down. Break your spirits. But you keep going. And so I feel that the only way to keep going is looking at a pair of customs. Now, the IG Sneaker Control basically made a custom pair of Union Jordan 1s from the pair that came out the year before last, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was either last year or the year before last, with the stitching that separates them, and basically made them. So I don't want to say a bread colorway, but I feel like since it's a custom, you had to keep the yellow because it was a part of the shoe. But I mean, and it's basically like a Union mock-up. And even then, I'm like, I'm not going to lie. My guy, you took the time to do this? Even with the shoe the way it was? I mean, I really like this. I really like this custom. And don't let nobody tell you that customs aren't hot, because it takes the right person and the right creative style with a good pair of customs to make them fire. And those looked fire. And I'll be honest with you. Unbiasedly speaking, I actually did like the original shoe that it was based on, but just for it to have a custom feel adds a little bit more flair to the shoe. Like I said, my opinion, my hot take, still a solid shoe. I'm just saying, like, come on. So, dope work on the custom. I know the camera's getting ready to shut off, so hold on. Let me do something real quick. Oh my god, where is it? The worst part is finding the record button. There we go. Yeah, I'll leave the recording button on just so that way the camera doesn't, cut off on me. Even though I don't know how much battery life it has left. Needless to say, I'm happy that we have more viewers. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the channel and all that. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful for all participants, who's tuned into the show, because at the end of the day, without y'all, the channel wouldn't grow. The channel wouldn't be where it is today. Slowly growing, slowly picking up the pedal and, pushing forward. Yes, this year just started and I've been pushing a lot of content, and I probably won't stop anytime soon. But needless to say, it's got to get done. Like I told y'all yesterday, I'm the main one running the show, running the channel. And so if I don't push the content out, who will? And that's how I feel about it. It's like, y'all might get sick of me posting every day and having something to post every day. That's the good thing about sneakers. At least the sneaker content is good enough that, the market is in a weird spot that it's a lot of stuff that you can post. Before we wrap up this show, and I saw something that just irked my soul. No pun intended to the sneaker comment. No pun intended at all. I swear. I really did not try to make that funny at all. I tried to be dead serious. A pair of dunks I missed out on. The Clot Nike Low What the Clot collaboration that came out in 2023. A pair that I actually did try to go for. I saw this picture and it brought back so many loved and hated memories of the shoe, and the only reason why is because, yes, I went for the shoe. I went for it on multiple websites and got nothing. But it's like, how do you feel about? It's like, for example, the Citrus. They had a whole restock coming back out 3 years later. And now it's just an easy cop because it's an easy restock for him when he shoot from 2022. These came out in 2023, and there's been a lot of other Clot designs that have not resurfaced or re-came out, and especially having the chance to get them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with y'all before we close the show. 2023 was a rough year, and the only good Clot shoe I have is my Forrest Gump Clot Tezes, and I'm appreciative of them. I'm trying to get the Bruce Lee or the Yin and Yang pair as a side piece because they're comfortable. I wore the actual shoe. I'll be honest with y'all. I wore the slipper part of the shoe more than I wore the actual shoe, and I wore the actual shoe probably a couple times. But the slipper is so comfortable. I wear it almost every flight I've been on. But coming back to these dunks, I will not pay over retail for them. But I do want to know if anybody knows where I can get a legit pair. Because that's where I draw the line. I refuse to pay over retail for mostly any other shoe. Like, there's no need to pay over retail. The market is in such a weird place that sooner or later it's gonna crash. With all these hype beasts trying to hold on to their cargo and trying to basically weigh out the storm. It's like, something's got to give at this point. And I don't know what's it going to be, but at the end of the day, something has to give. But with that being said, hold on 1 second. Yeesh. With that being said, I know the red dot's on there because it's recording, and I take that L later. But I want to thank everyone who's tuned into the show. I want to thank everyone who's watched, everyone who's liked, comment, subscribed to the channel. I am greatly appreciative. And I want to say thank you again for tuning in to the Late Night Sneaker Talk Show with me, Landon Strange. Hopefully, we'll be back for the next one. Most likely, the next one will be on Thursday. I'm glad I only went through one battery today, but I feel like I should have live streamed with this and some gaming content. But needless to say, I'm still appreciative of everybody who's tuned in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and also get in the chat. I'm also trying to get a new camera soon so that way I don't have this problem. And I've been looking into the DJ Osmos Pocket 3. So any subs that want to help support me into getting a new camera, let me know and I'll figure out a way to make it worth your while. Or at least as a Kickstarter when the merch finally is released, because that has been one of my biggest flaws, is getting the funds together to start the real sneakers and Stogies merch. There's a bunch of designs out. I have a bunch of interviews coming up, but I just want to get the merch out there. And if I can get the merch out there, I'll probably make the ones who help me get the camera, who help me get more supplies for what I'm doing, first dibs. Or if it comes to like automatic, sneaker put-ins and they want a raffle, I'll probably work on that as well. But there is so much happening in this channel, and it's only March. Mind you, I'm streaming every day something in March, so that tells you that this year is going to be a lot of content coming out, and y'all know I'm going to be actively dealing with Black Friday for GOAT in November, and I'm having a bunch of other content come out as well. So I'm also trying to get back to stuff on Twitch, so I'm probably going to be recording the streams as they go on Twitch as well. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, share the clips, help the channel grow to being one of the most successful sneaker content channels and also one of the most Stogies content channels ever, because I am going to a cigar bar hopefully within the next week, so that way I can get some cigar content out there as well. It's going to be a vertical live, and also my end of the year party for the Texans is coming up, so I might have some content from there as well. I can't record too much because it's a lot of people's personal business, but at least there'll be some content from there as well. Especially if anyone's Texans fans, let me know, because I might have some complimentary merch to give away as well if y'all want that as well. So like, comment, subscribe, check out the channel. This is Landon Strange signing out. Yeah. I don't know if anybody's on, but I did forget to do one other thing, and I just wanted to make sure that I'm appreciative of everyone who supports the channel, even though the stream has officially ended and I am still live at the moment. The content that has been coming out has been really, really challenging, and I really want to thank everyone who's took the time to at least view it or watch it or at least give a positive or negative comment. Because at the end of the day, if it wasn't for y'all, this channel would not be here. And so just keep a lookout on the shorts. Make sure you comment and do what you have to do. But make sure you support the channel anyway. So thank you again. Really do appreciate it. And I do have some older videos that deserve to get recognition as well. So just help boost up the views, boost up the likes, and definitely will be appreciated. Thank you again.